Hi, this is Ashlie Johnson with Brooke Human Resource Solutions, here with a few tips on working with a board when you are in a cooperative environment. The first thing that you need to understand your board's perspective and motivation. What type of board do you have? Does the board see their chief function as fiduciary, or are they focused in other areas? What motivated each director to join the board? Do you know what motivates them to action or to embrace change? There are a lot of reasons why someone would become a director on a board. Some for professional development, right? Maybe they saw a need for improvement and stepped up to provide it while also learning new skills. Or were they forced? Did they feel that they needed to get into the role because they didn't see anyone else stepping up to take on that responsibility and to take that on their shoulders? Those are very different reasons for joining a board. Nevertheless, they are there and on the board. So understanding what their motivators are will be really helpful for you in getting to know them. If you understand what got them there, you can also better discern how to approach and interact with them. Understanding what comes from their past can help you interact in their future. Cultivate the relationship outside of board meetings. The secret of cultivating a good board relationship lies in the time spent between board meetings. And what I mean by that is that maintaining open and frequent communication, in addition to your normal quarterly meetings, is key to ensuring that your board is kept apprised of your needs and isn't making decisions without all of the pertinent information. Managers who spend time outside of the board meetings, laying out all of the details and doing the fact finding and communicating any challenges well in advance of those quarterly meetings, has a much better chance of gaining their board's trust and long-term support. It's also important to set expectations for communications. Open and proactive communication is the key to improving your relationship with your board. As the leader who's interacting with the board, you should set expectations for how the board can expect to communicate with you. That includes agreeing on how information comes out and the frequency and the content of that information. Setting expectations for communication and establishing a way to engage becomes especially important as you scale up, and you may need to communicate more frequently. Setting clear expectations with the board gives everyone a level of comfort. It provides a solid foundation of trust and helps build confidence in your leadership. Perhaps you've already have expectations. So perhaps you've been operating in the same way for some time. If you feel that those expectations need to be altered to improve your relationship with the board, be honest about it. Define what you think the new expectations of communication should be and formulate a strong message as to why and how you feel the change will improve the relationship, and then sell it. Communicate in advance anything that will affect those expectations. Sometimes you may need to change a deadline or the level of reporting. Clearly and proactively explain the change. For example, telling the board, once my team adapts to X situation, or they are able to internalize a new process in X number of weeks or months, I will resume the normal schedule of reporting. But in the interim, this is what you can expect. So as long as you're setting those expectations and you're meeting them, whatever they are, the board will continue to trust you, even if you have to make a change. Share your mistakes quickly and matter-of-factly. If something goes wrong, the faster you can tell someone about it, the less impact it has negatively on the board or the business. And be prepared to discuss potential causes and solutions. If you're responsible for the mistake, own it. Don't throw your staff under the bus, make excuses, or point fingers. This will go a long way in earning the trust and respect of the board. Be sure to communicate proactively and transparently. When changes occur in the business, say maybe you hire people rapidly because you're growing, or a process evolves quickly, it can be very unsettling to your board if it's a surprise. Build trust with transparency. A big part of your job as a leader and liaison with the board is building and maintaining trust. That means being completely open with them about both positive and negative developments in the business. The more transparent you are, the more willing they will be to help you grow into your leadership role or to support your needs. How you deliver news matters. especially when you've been through a challenge or made a critical decision. How you explain decisions to the board is going to be very important. If they trust you, they'll feel more comfortable supporting you in the decisions that you make. You can build the board's confidence in you by explaining your rationale. Often leaders follow sort of one of two extremes. Some don't share enough information about challenges, which leads to distrust from the board. Others lean way too heavily on the board to solve their problems, and that conveys a lack of decisiveness and capability. Posing questions like, "What should I do?" to the board within a meeting can be interpreted as weakness and suggests unprofessionalism. It sends a message that you don't know how to solve the problems that a leader should know how to solve. So asking the board to solve your problems within a board meeting causes them to quickly question your leadership abilities. The board needs to believe in your leadership abilities. Don't present the problem, provide maybe 3 possible options, and then ask for their opinion. Asking for open-ended input or a chance to brainstorm together can undermine their confidence in your ability to lead. On the other hand, don't just reveal a decision. If you simply state the problem and your decision, they might see your confidence, but wonder if you were thoughtful about the process that got you there. That too can undermine their faith in you as a leader. My recommendation is a middle path. Sharing the thought process that you use to get to the conclusion can boost their confidence in your problem-solving abilities. For example, here was the challenge, and here's what I decided, and then elaborate on how you arrived at that decision. I considered these 3 options. Here's why I chose this one. Giving them that information helps them understand your thought process and be more engaged and willing to believe in that thought process. It's really important also to nurture relationships with your board members. If your board members live nearby, I recommend meeting them informally with each individual member. Meet with them once a month, every other month, have lunch with them, maybe take them out to coffee. If they're not local, schedule a Zoom coffee date. Whatever you need to do to facilitate a quick one-on-one, how's it going? Is there anything I can do to help you? Is there anything that you can do to help me? Will really help to build that relationship. Meeting individually with members between meetings also allows you to strengthen your relationship and learn what matters most to that member. It minimizes the chance of an unpleasant surprise announcement at a meeting as well. If a director has a concern or they're confused about something, it's likely to come out in the lunch. "Hey, are you working on this? We talked about this at the last board meeting. How is that going? Are you making progress on this issue?" Those types of questions will come up at a coffee meeting or a lunch, and then you'll know what you're coming into the next time you walk into that quarterly meeting. Then as you prepare for that board meeting, you can construct the agenda knowing what the potential hot button issues might be and be prepared with ammunition to fight those issues when you walk in the door. The last thing that I would say about building a relationship with a board is that the manager and board chairperson relationship is especially important. Your board chairperson translates the board's expectations to you and also represents you to the larger entity. If needed, the board's chair can also provide a buffer between you and the rest of the board. So make it your focus to really concentrate on building that relationship, understanding the chair's motivations, what their needs are, and doing your best to meet those needs and live up to those expectations. Building a relationship with your board isn't always easy, but it is something that everybody needs to do when you're in that situation. So please do take the time to talk to them, build those relationships, and hopefully it will help you to lead your business in a more positive way. I hope this has been helpful. If you have questions, please reach out to Brooke Human Resource Solutions, and I'd be happy to give you more advice. Thanks and take care. Bye-bye.